We're going to watch a really short clip from CNBS, Tesla's electrifying 10-day run. Note, before the clip starts, often, Melissa Lee's face tends to be rather expressive. In the past, Tim over here, who I previously referred to as Tim C. Moron or Tim C. Less, was extremely anti-Tesla, going bankrupt, competition's coming, blah, blah, but eventually, he saw the light and changed his tune. He used to be the guy embarrassing himself, shorting Tesla stock and getting his anus ruined over and over. No longer. Thankfully, CNBS were able to wrangle in a new clown, Dan over here, who has thrown more than one temper tantrum after Tesla stock surged. If I didn't know any better, maybe he lost a lot of money shorting the stock and was lashing out. But of course, I don't know this. I'm just hypothesizing as to why we may have seen him throw temper tantrums in the past after Tesla stock rallied. While throwing said temper tantrums, Melissa Lee's face said it all. What a gigantic fucking sausage wallet, an emotional infant. This guy should not be investing. I'm just kidding. I can't read her face. So, before this clip starts, which I've not yet watched, is it just me or is Melissa Lee just kind of low-key going, all right, embarrass yourself again, Dan. Let's see what you got. Maybe I'm reading into the tea leaves. Let's find out. Please tell us about Tesla's electrifying 10-day run, Dan. Hopefully he talks now. It's going to be embarrassing if somebody else starts.
When do you think those Robotaxis are going to be on the streets? Is that coming out around the corner? I mean, this is a really difficult setup if you're excited about Robotaxi. And I'll just mention this. At the end of April, when the stock, kind of fell off a cliff and it got down to, I think, $138. Here we are at $262. I mean, investors were very concerned about deliveries of their cars, right? And so at that point, there were...
So, controversial opinion alert. Investors weren't concerned. Dumbasses were concerned. Yeah, I said it. Deal with it. Hyper-focused on A, the automotive business, and B, the ultra short term, ignoring the cyclical nature of the automotive industry. The fact that, for example, due to the scamdemic, the supply chain shocks, huge shortages in products, there was a huge surge in prices for vehicles, new and used market. Those then coming back to reality. At the same time, used car prices falling off a cliff, meaning it's much more affordable and compelling to buy a used vehicle than it was a year ago. Plus interest rates through the roof. If you don't look at the bigger picture and you're only focused on Tesla Automotive, you might be one of those extremely intelligent people who panic sold near $130 a share or did so near $100 a share just over a year ago. Traders may be concerned about Tesla deliveries, but investors, as in buy and hold, I really don't think they give a flying fuck about the short-term noise in Tesla vehicle deliveries. But hey, maybe that's just me.
We're looking at this as an EV car maker, right? So now if you're getting...
Wait. I got to hear that again. Please tell us more about Tesla, which is just a car company.
At this as an EV car maker, right? So now if you're getting excited about this stock up nearly 100% in a few months, then you are excited about Robotaxi, you're excited about all this other stuff. And I just want to bring you back to a month ago. You remember when Elon diverted, I think, about $500 million versus the...
I know where this is going. I've covered it before, and here it comes again from Dan the man, the emotional infant, always needing to come up with some kind of negative story. This is going to be about the NVIDIA GPUs, which at the time, as I've discussed, by the way, apologies if you've seen my every single video I've posted, but for those who missed it, what happened was the following. NVIDIA's like, yo, Tesla, we can give you these GPUs you ordered now. Are you ready to take delivery? And Tesla's like, well, fuck no, actually, we're still constructing the gigantic facility to house these things. We still haven't done the thermal management, the electrical, the wiring, the energy management, the networking, the infrastructure, the cybersecurity. We haven't done shit yet. So actually, if we take delivery now, they're literally going to sit around for a few months and we won't even be able to turn them on. So instead of that, how about you deliver them to XAI and we'll take the next order instead when we're ready. This is essentially what happened. Musk wasn't providing any special treatment to XAI, nor did this harm Tesla. They literally would have had these things sitting in a warehouse collecting dust as opposed to training AI, had they taken delivery. And importantly, this would have also been a huge challenge for the balance sheet. They take delivery, suddenly they've got a fuck ton of goods now doing shit all. So instead, XAI can have them because we can't use them anyway for a few months. That's what happened. But the way this was painted, and I'm sure Dan's about to come up with this because Dan needs to continue to be negative on Tesla, is Elon bad, Elon favoring his other company, Elon fucking over Tesla investors. It's total horseshit. We knew this at the time. I covered this at the time, I've debunked it, and here it is again. What a surprise. I'm just kidding. Dan's definitely not going to say that because Dan's really smart, well-informed, and doesn't have a negative bias about Tesla, right?
The H100 NVIDIA chips over to XAI, wouldn't you think that would be pretty useful for building a Robotaxi network and that sort of thing?
Hi, Dan. You may not know this, but when FedEx delivers a H100, you don't just take it out of the box and press on, and suddenly you're training Robotaxis, as I mentioned earlier. You literally need to build the physical structure to house these things, the thermal management, the HVAC, the cooling, right? How to extract heat, the networking, the electric, the power, everything. They're not just plug and play. To build a gigantic supercomputer cluster, it takes time, and Tesla was not ready to turn these things on, so to speak. Therefore, they didn't take delivery. Now, to Dan's point, if he was actually intellectually honest with himself, he would think, you know what? I wonder if there was a reason that they didn't take immediate delivery for these things, other than the fact that maybe they're not trying to pursue robotaxis as fast as they should be. But no, that would involve thinking and digging a little bit and possibly encountering some evidence that suggests that Tesla is not a terrible company, Elon Musk isn't bad, and maybe there's some opportunity there, which goes against everything he seems to believe.
So I just don't think, you can chase it here, have fun with it, but I mean, there's a good chance that, you see this thing a bit lower after this Robotaxi event, and we get a sense that there's not any imminent risk of those things being on the streets.
Steve, what do you think?
Did he just imply that robotaxis would be a risk, as in, like, from an investor point of view? I guess this might be what happens when you think Tesla's a permanent short and keep betting against the company. You would see robotaxis as a risk because you get absolutely fucking wrecked. Wild.
Yeah, I think it was just a lopsided market. Bears got off balance on this, and shorts got a little too deep on the name. Deliveries were better. Their battery storage that no one pays attention to was up 100%.
I can confirm, until extremely recently, very few people have been paying attention to Tesla's energy storage business. That, however, is now starting to change. All it took was one massive beat. Not the first time that they've more than doubled their quarter-over-quarterly energy deployments, but apparently this was the quarter that got people talking.
So there's a lot of different moving parts for it, and they truly have become, obviously Rivian was paddled back to life so recently, but it's just basically Tesla, Rivian, and the Chinese EV companies. But I think you get a little over your skis, you start pressing the stock down, he pulls a rabbit out of the hat, sentiment changes, the stock explodes in your face, rinse and repeat. So
now, I've heard a rumor, I'm unsure if it's credible, but I've heard a rumor that many of the Tesla short sellers really enjoy things exploding in their face. Financially, of course, I'm referring to. Can anyone confirm or deny? By the way, nothing wrong with enjoying that if that's what you're into. In fact, I've participated in many of such occasions, just not on the receiving end.
So I think you have the ability for the stock to travel and levitate a bit from here, but we're sort of in that overextended period on both sides. So if you're long, I'd clock the ticket right now and then look for a better reentry.
Just to translate that jargon, I believe he suggested everyone should sell their Tesla stock and hope, because obviously hope is a great strategy, hope that the stock collapses so that you can rebuy after you've paid your capital gains taxes, meaning you have to buy a lot lower, and come out a fraction of a percent ahead. In my opinion, personally, I don't think that's worth the risk. Now, it's not to say that Tesla can't come back a little bit or a lot. It's an extremely volatile stock. But with Tesla on the cusp of solving autonomy, even Dan seems to recognize that if robotaxis hit the roads, holy fuck, the valuation of the company could rocket to absurd levels. I wouldn't be taking that risk. Unless, of course, I was hoping that it would explode in my face, whatever you're into. And just like that, the Tesla narrative shifting in real time, suddenly people starting to realize that when Elon Musk was describing the incredible growth potential and profitability potential for Tesla's energy storage business years ago, suggesting it could grow to be as big, if not larger, than the automotive business. Literally, this is what he said years ago. Years, keywords there one more time, years ago. Suddenly, Wall Street's starting to go, wait a second, wait a minute. Tesla's energy business could actually be really valuable, possibly even more valuable than the automotive business. Holy shit. Let's tell everybody that we've just figured this out. I ain't kidding, by the way. This from Morgan Stanley. Tesla energy worth more than Tesla automotive? Generative AI is catalyzing a multi-generational increase in energy demand that, combined with a more than 2 times beat in Q2 storage deployments, has driven increased interest in Tesla energy. By the way, I just feel like this is also going to happen with robotaxis eventually, with faster than expected, wider than expected deployment of Tesla robotaxis with much larger profits than expected. Blah, blah, blah. We're seeing increased interest in Tesla autonomy. I don't know how many years that'll take, but we've been here before. We raise our Tesla energy forecasts and lower our Tesla auto forecasts as we cut our 2030 US battery electric vehicle penetration now at 20% versus 25% prior. Now, just to be clear, I've covered this before. When they say penetration, they mean new vehicles sold, not vehicles on the road. Sometimes people, they hear these estimates, they're so low, they're like, there must be 25% of the fleet. Wrong. Now, I have a theory. My theory is that Morgan Stanley are all suffering from testicular atrophy, meaning that if they increase their energy estimates a lot and their price target would surge, they're a little bit scared that people will laugh at them for having such a high fair valuation for Tesla given what it's currently worth. Therefore, wait, our energy valuation's massively pushed up our fair valuation. People are going to laugh at us if it's not within $3 of the stock's price today. So let's figure out a way to reduce other parts of the business so that we can bring it back down so that things kind of even out. Of course, I'm sure that this is not the case. I'm sure they're very courageous, very smart gentlemen there over at Morgan Stanley. I don't think there's any women on the team that cover Tesla. Maybe I'm wrong. But just thinking out loud, maybe that could possibly be what's going on here. Tesla Energy has garnered heightened investor interest over the last few weeks within the context of 1. Generative AI, acceleration spurring a multi-generational increase in energy demand, and 2. A 2 times beat in second quarter Tesla energy storage deployments. Following up on our recent deep dive on the business, we update our Tesla energy model of our unchanged $310 Tesla price target. See, folks, I just can't take these guys seriously. What a magical fucking coincidence that after increasing their Tesla energy estimates and magically decreasing their EV adoption estimates in the US for 2030, miraculously, they somehow end up at the exact same $310 price, exactly, to the dollar, to the cent. It's a miracle. What a coincidence. This is why I just can't take these people seriously. I guarantee I can tell you, these numbnuts are, well, we don't want to increase our price target right now, so let's figure out a way to reduce automotive to compensate completely and exactly to the cent for the increase in the energy business. Oh, God. Tesla Energy now represents $50 a share versus $36 previously. We also mark to market our US auto model. Oh, available upon request. I'd love to see a copy if anyone's got one. My DMs are open on X. Reducing our 2030 US battery electric vehicle penetration rate to 20% versus 25% previously to account for continued EV deceleration in the wake of rising China protectionism and a hybrid renaissance. Oh, shit. As a result, we reduce our 2030 Tesla auto sales to 5.7 million versus 6 million previously, driving a $15 share reduction to our core valuation. Well, hang on a minute. We're missing $1 here, right? 310, 50, 36, that's $14 there, but we're talking, where's the other dollar? I'm sure they come up with it somewhere, right? Tesla Energy, almost entirely a pure play storage business. With deceleration in solar deployments and acceleration of storage, Tesla Energy is now 95% energy storage revenue, rising to 97% over time. As such, the margin profile of the business is higher than the core auto business, and the gap is widening over time. Elon Musk said on the earnings call that Tesla's energy is their highest margin business. To put this in context, 1 Megapack 2XL sells for $1.4 million. That's equivalent to the revenue generated from selling 35 Teslas. But consider a 20% operating margin for storage, which is Morgan Stanley's estimate, versus approximately 7% for the auto currently. In other words, it's about 3 times as much money per dollar of revenue in terms of actual profit. The profit from selling 1 Megapack equals nearly 100 Teslas. Tesla's mega factory in Lathrop, California can make 10,000 megapacks per year. We estimate the profit generated from a fully utilized mega factory is equal to the profit generated from selling 1 million Tesla EVs. Sorry, I had to read that verbatim. It's rare to see a typo in one of these. It's no wonder that investors are starting to consider the real possibility that Tesla Energy may be worth more than Tesla Auto. Got to skip ahead a little bit on this. According to Morgan Stanley's clean tech analyst, Tesla's renewed focus on the energy business combined with its innovation, scale, and growing brand loyalty is a recipe for real disruption for incumbent players in the market. And now we've got the comparison between a Megapack versus vehicle sales. Megapack, 1.4 million. A Tesla vehicle, they're using the assumption of a $40,000 price. Operating margin on the Megapack, 20%. Vehicles, 7%. So about 3 times more in energy. As we saw, Megapack equals the equivalent of revenue from about 35 cars, but profitability, operating income, for about 100 vehicles. So 1 mega factory, e.g. 10,000 megapacks annual capacity, is the equivalent operating income from producing 1 million vehicles. Now keep in mind, that's with today's piss poor margins. The automotive market is extremely cyclical. Rates are through the roof. Over time, it's likely margins on the auto business will continue to climb higher. But for now, this is how things look. It does put things in perspective. Changes to our Tesla Energy valuation. Increased 2025 storage deployment to around 40 gigawatt hours, previously 25. We now forecast Tesla Energy to reach 100 gigawatt hours in storage deployments by 2028 versus 2031 previously. A 3-year pull forward in demand, which we believe is warranted given accelerating energy storage demand globally and Tesla's positioning to grow share in that market. We note that our 2030 storage deployment forecast of 142 gigawatt hours implies that Tesla has a 30% share of the global energy stationary storage market. Blah, blah. now valuing the energy business at $183 billion versus $131 previously. And here we see Morgan Stanley's previous versus current energy storage deployment forecasts for Tesla. Blue previous and the yellow/gold current. Now, controversial opinion alert. Did you know that in the future, Morgan Stanley will in fact share a very similar chart showing updates to their Tesla delivery estimates? Again, I just wanted to confirm they currently believe in 2030 Tesla's going to, let's just call it produce/sell, because maybe they make robotaxis, same shit, 5.7 million vehicles in 2030. We've seen a roughly 50% increase in their 2030 energy deployment estimates out of nowhere. Didn't creep up by 5%. No, it's just gone bam, 50% increase in one update. I think it's pretty likely we're going to see comparable increases for their 2030 estimates on vehicle deliveries soon. By the way, a 50% increase on 5.7 is not even 9 million vehicles. Tesla's aiming for 20. Imagine that. Some really smart people, allegedly, once again massively underestimating Tesla. And Elon Musk telling everybody, hey guys, here's the thing that's going to happen. And everyone says, oh no, it's not Elon. And then a few years later they go, hey guys, breaking news. This thing that Elon said was going to happen that we didn't think was going to happen and we ignored, we actually think it's going to happen now. Aren't you glad that we were here to tell you what Elon told us was going to happen years ago today? That's why you pay us the big bucks. Oh, shit. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. Plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.